This incident involved a 57-year-old male patient found unresponsive at home by a friend. Was not a witnessed arrest, but we believe that there was quite a short downtime. A friend said that he had just spoken to him prior to finding him unresponsive. This is Squad 1's AED. This is the first analyzed rhythm. We know that compressions were being done while the pads were being placed because we can see some compressions there right before it analyzes. The AED analyzes and does show that this could be a shockable rhythm. This patient was in V-fib. So we know that it was a shockable rhythm. It says shock advised here. Now, remember, the AED doesn't actually say shock advised. What it does is it starts charging. It's important to hover over the chest during the analyzing phase, so that way we're ready to do compressions as soon as it starts charging or it says no shock advised. There was a little over 2-second delay from the point that it started charging to getting it back on the chest. That's not too bad. We want a 2-second delay or less, or we really want no delay, but something that's less than 2 seconds is definitely acceptable. What happens if it's more than 2 seconds and then we start doing compressions? Remember, we want to do 30 compressions. The issue there is if we go significantly over the 2 seconds and then we start 30 compressions, and all that entire time takes a lot, what will end up happening is the AED will dump the charge, and that's kind of what happened here. It dumped the charge. Now, a 2-second delay and 30 compressions shouldn't be enough to dump the charge, but unfortunately what happened here is this team member had lost count and actually did 36 compressions. So those extra 6 compressions coupled with a little over 2-second delay from getting on the chest initially took just too long, and the AED ended up dumping the charge. As we can see here. Oftentimes what happens when it dumps the charge is it wants to analyze again, and that's exactly what it did. So this is the next section. As you can see, it dumped the charge. This is where we left off last time. And then it analyzes again. Okay, so it analyzed again. Again, it was a shockable rhythm. Luckily, the charge was pretty much fully complete right away because it had already charged it once before. So the team recognized that that's what had happened. They let it go ahead and analyze again. Charge. Now there was a delay from the point that it was ready to actually shock to the point where it was actually shocked. We need to make sure that we're on top of that a little bit quicker. So this patient was defibrillated. Nice job to the team for getting back on the chest in about 1 second. So it only took about 1 second here to get back on the chest. So nice job to the team for doing that. They went ahead and started compressions again after the shock. So the note here, this is a 32 compression, so these are going to be the 2 ventilations here. So ventilation here and ventilation here. Remember, we only want to give 3 seconds for ventilations. This is 4 seconds. So make sure that the one doing compressions, when they get to the 30, either they count in their head or they count out loud. You only give them 3 seconds and then you start compressions again. This is going to be the second analyzed rhythm, or technically the third one, but the next time that it needs to be analyzed. And remember, when we are analyzing rhythm, we also want to check a pulse. When we checked a pulse during this time, we determined that the patient did have a pulse, and this is their rhythm actually here. So they have a pretty decent rhythm. This patient had a pulse and was transported to the hospital and was fully resuscitated there as well with the ROSC protocol. This patient ultimately ended up walking out of the hospital with no neurological deficits. So excellent job to the team for recognizing the patient was in cardiac arrest, for defibrillating this patient, good, consistent compressions at an appropriate rate. Really good job there. This is the type of patient that we're going to save, right? It's a patient found in a shockable rhythm. If we do good compressions and we defibrillate early, the likelihood that they're going to walk out of the hospital is really high. So nice save here all the way around. Excellent job, guys.